Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to IRCTC Limited Q3 FY22 post-results conference call, hosted by Haitong Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Siddharth Agarwal, Executive Director Sales at Haitong. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Hello everyone. I trust you and your dear ones are in good health. On behalf of Haitong Securities India, I welcome you to the Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, that is IRCTC's Q3 FY22 earnings call. On behalf of Haitong India, I thank the management for giving us the opportunity to host the call. On the call, we have IRCTC's management led by Chairman and Managing Director Srimati Rajni Hasija ji and the Director Finance Shri Ajit Kumar ji. CMD ma'am and Director Finance sir shall first give the opening remarks, post which we shall open the floor for Q&A. I would now request CMD ma'am to provide her overview on Q3 FY22 results. Ma'am.
Very good morning to all. I welcome you all to this Concall of IRCTC Limited, ended 31st December. I hope that you and your dear ones are safe, and I wish great and a healthy 2022 as we are interacting for the first time this year. So I thought these wishes are very important. Now, when we talk about the results of the Q3 for the fiscal 22, well, it has been a very good quarter for the travel and hospitality industry, and which was also contributed by the festive season. It would have been even better had the Omicron infections were not there. Thankfully, the nature has been relatively kind, and the Omicron infections have been much moderate as compared to the previous waves, that is the first and the second wave, which were pretty bad. Hopefully, we have completely out of the current wave, and there are no new waves of infections. That is what we pray to Almighty. Yesterday, our company has announced the financial results for the quarter ending December 21, and the same has been disclosed on the websites of both the stock exchanges too. We shall first share a brief overview of the quarter 3 of financial year 22 results, post which we shall also have a question and answer session with all of you, and you are free to ask. In the third quarter of financial year 22, IRCTC has not only demonstrated the resilience but has also reported the operational improvements in all of its business segments. While revenue for the quarter is still below the all-time high, but the absolute EBITDA hits a new high. On a consolidated basis, quarter 3 of this financial year, revenue came to nearly 540 crores, where we have seen a strong growth of 33% over quarter, and significant improvement on year-on-year basis also. That is the 140, nearly more than 140%. EBITDA margin for the second consecutive quarter is at 51%. Net profit of 208 crores also saw strong growth over the quarter-over-quarter performance, that is 32%, and 168% in year-over-year basis. So both the results have been pretty good, but for the emergence of another wave of infections, the travel and hospitality industry can look forward for a much better fiscal year, that is 23 and beyond. IRCTC's business segments like catering, packaged drinking water, and importantly tourism can look up for a better performance in the changed industry environment. Things are improving, vaccination is improving, we can apprehend a good result. I shall now hand over the call to my colleague and our CFO, Mr. Ajit Kumar, to brief you on the financial and the segmental performance of the company.
Good morning, everybody, and wishing you and your dear ones a much better 2022, especially as regards health. I shall first give a brief overview about Q3 FY22 results, post which we shall have the question and answer session. Q3 FY22 revenue saw another quarter of a strong improvement both on QOQ and YOY basis. Revenue of rupees 540 crore grew by 33% quarter-on-quarter and by around 1.4 times year-on-year basis. Given that Q3 FY21 had the impact of the pandemic, given the internet ticketing continued to drive the growth, as you know, it has the highest margin amongst the business segments. EBITDA margin remained at around more than 50% plus mark for the second consecutive quarter, and was at around 1.7% versus 52.2% quarter-on-quarter and 42.2% on a year-on-year basis. Let's now move to the different business segments of the company. The first one, the internet ticketing segment, that has continued to be the more resilient business segment. And Q3 FY22 third quarter revenue, internet ticketing hit another all-time high at around more than rupees 312 crores, so growing by around 17.9% quarter-on-quarter and significantly higher than rupees 143 crore in Q3 FY21. The growth was driven by both the growth in ticketing volume and in non-service charge revenue. EBIT margin remained above 80% and was at 84.8% versus 83.1% quarter-on-quarter and 76.3% year-on-year basis. The other segment is the catering segment, which has moved back to profit after EBIT after 6 quarters of losses. For Q2 FY23, the segment reported EBIT of rupees 5.7 crore versus minor loss of rupees 0.15 crore quarter-on-quarter and loss of rupees 7.94 crore year-on-year. Resumption of cooked food was only a part of the quarter and should help better performance in coming quarters because this is going to be a permanent feature now. Rail Neer has also maintained the momentum in improvement revenue and EBIT. The Q3 FY22 revenue for the segment grew by 21% quarter-on-quarter to rupees 49.9 crore. EBIT margin got back to double-digit mark at 10.1% versus 6.8% quarter-on-quarter and a loss, of course, in Q3 FY21. The next segment, the tourism segment, which has all over the world has been the most hit by the pandemic, saw a sharp revenue growth of 15.2% quarter-on-quarter to rupees 68.25 crore, which was the highest revenue in the last 7 quarters. EBIT loss also now narrowed down to 7.93 crore versus 21.2 crore quarter-on-quarter and rupees 11.4 crore year-on-year basis. The cash and bank balance and net worth of the company at the end of the Q3 FY22, the cash and bank balance is 1821 crore and the net worth is now 1840 crore. So that brings to the end of the opening remarks. Now we can straight move to the question and answer.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Jinesh Joshi from Prabhudas Lilladher. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Madam, can you help us with the number of tickets which were booked for the quarter and share of non-convenience revenue to begin with?
Well, the number of tickets which have been booked, it has been very good growth. In October, we booked around 4.38 crores tickets. In November, it was again 4.18. I'm giving the absolute number, then I'll give you the average also. Then in the month of December, the number dropped a bit. It was 4.02 crores when I said this. And in January also, the figures have been around 3.41 because we were impacted by pandemic again in the month of January. And the second question, can you please repeat the second one?
The share of non-convenience revenue.
Yes. The total revenue when we talk about the non-convenience fee revenue, because the revenue is earned in 1 month but realized in the another month, so it is better if we take the consolidated 9 months kind of a figure. In this 9 months kind of a figure, the total revenue which we earned from the internet ticketing was 728 crores, out of which 499 crores was of the convenience fee, that is 68%, and rest 32% was 229 crores of the non-convenience fee. And if you want further detailing, I can give you that also.
No, madam, that should be fine. And my second question is on the tourism segment. Now, despite swift recovery in the tourism revenues, the segment reported an EBIT loss of about 8 crores for the quarter. So, can you highlight the reason behind it? Because if I look at FY20, especially 1Q and 2Q, our revenue run rate was far lower in the region of about 45 to 50 crores. But despite that, we were into profits back then, and right now at 68 crores, we are into EBIT loss. So if you can just throw some light on that.
See, as far as the tourism sector is concerned, we have reduced the losses. That you have noticed that from the losses which were earlier there more, now have got reduced to 7 crores only. So, and we are trying although in October and November and December, all efforts which we started, we could start only in the month of October. So, we were about to our efforts were fructifying in the month of November, December. And but when we were doing this, the pandemic had already started entering in the month of December. So our December sales from the tourism also got impacted. And January was pretty bad for the tourism. So January figure impact you will see in the next quarter. In tourism, when you start selling a thing, you start selling in 6 months in advance. All our departures for that period were fully sold. But we had to cancel a few because the pandemic had already started entering and the impact was seen even in the month of December also. So the tourism still is passing through very, very bad phase. And the bookings which you had earned earlier, lost again in the January, again to regain that in the month of February or March, you need some time. It is a continuous process. Any breakage in between is going to impact your next 3 months. So it is a consecutive or a cascading kind of a effect always has. So anything pertaining to law order, anything happening adverse in the country, it impacts your businesses in the tourism sector. It is only IRCTC which has been able to come back at least. I think the things are pretty bad in the with the other private companies where people had to lose plenty of jobs also.
Sure, madam. I fully understand that. The reason I was asking is because earlier at 50 crores we were profitable, and now at 68 crores we are into losses. So is there any change in the cost structure which you would want to highlight is what I was essentially speaking about?
Frankly speaking, there is not much change in the structure. But the bookings, the sales, sales are not, sales which were picked up, we lost the sales. There were many cancellations. The efforts by the teams are even more. But the results are not forthcoming because we are losing business because of the pandemic. People are hesitant of traveling. It is only in the deluxe segment or in the The mass travel, the quantum of the mass travel that it used to be is no longer there. It is only the very, very necessary. Thanks to the festive season during the month of October, there we could gain something. And the marriage season also in the month of December, that we could retain some bookings. So otherwise, the things would have been even worse. Had those seasons were not there. Tourism has started picking up. It will pick up further. But you need some time. You need 6 months time at least of the steady environment without any change, so that you can get a good result in that.
Sure, madam. One last question from my side. Is there any rollback of seats happening from 2H to general category given restoration of normalcy?
There was a press clipping, which we shared in the last call, and we mentioned also that we have not heard of any such thing so far, that the ministry is thinking of rolling back the reservation fee on the second day. And put together both segments, second and the sleeper, is contributing to the 76% of the booking.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Urmil Shah from Aegis Federal Life Insurance. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. Ma'am, my first question was on the catering segment. So now that the pre-cooked meals are being allowed, how has the transition to new tenders happened? And would it be too early to speak about the erstwhile price increase that was supposed to happen?
See, the cooked food decision came in the, I think, last week of November. And we started giving the trains on tender from the 1st December onwards. Out of which few trains which were tendered with documents, we could restore them little early as compared to the other where we had to do a tendering. If you recall my earlier discussions, the total number of trains where the tenders were to be awarded with pantry cars, the number was 417. So this number is, out of these 417, 20 trains were not restored. But 44 new trains we got, so nutshell there is a gain of 24 trains. So as of now, my total trains with the pantry car is 441, out of which 428 trains are running with the pantry car with the cooked food, while 13 are still on the ready-to-eat food because tender for those trains could not be materialized because of either very low bid or no bid. Then we also have a train side vending trains. Their number is nearly more than 700, for which the tender process has already been started. And very soon you will see the results and increase in the revenue from this segment. So you can say from the pantry car segment and from the Rajdhani Shatabdi Duranto, all Rajdhani Shatabdi Duranto have been now tendered. And license fee had started accruing. And same is our turnover from the sale of our Rajdhani and Shatabdi and Duranto food also has been restored. But for TSV, yes, tender process has started. The license fee will start soon from the month of January onwards, from February onwards, because those tenders take time. These are the small value tenders, and generally you need some more hard work in tendering those things.
On the price hike, when should we expect that it would be reasonable?
In February, we are likely to close all the tenders for the train side vending.
Ma'am, I was talking about the price hike which was supposed to get implemented, and because of the pandemic, it got delayed.
I think it is there in the balance sheet note also. There we have given the impact very clearly. I'll read out that for the catering contracts awarded before 22nd of March have been treated as a zero period due to the pandemic. Accordingly, no income as well as the railway share payable as accrued during the year 2021 and the period up to 26 November. The Railway Board's order dated 23rd of February 2021 for the termination of a standard bid document due to the change in the scope of work has been withdrawn on 19th November, and appeal filed by the Railway Board has been annulled. Honorable High Court of Madras has withdrawn the has withdrawn. The particular case has been withdrawn by the Ministry of Railways, and catering services started from 27th of November in the phased manner. The income and the railway share payable has been accrued accordingly. The effect of enforcement of the license fee is from 27th of November to 31st of December, has not been certain and recognized on account of an increase in the catering tariff as per the CC 60 of 2019 issued from the Railway Board. So it is sales assessment happens in two periods, Urmilji. And one is the lean period and other is the peak period. Peak period is now coming in the Holi. So that part will be taken care of in that. But in January, that is considered as a lean period we could not do because of the pandemic. So that sales assessment we are likely to complete in the month of March for the peak period. And for the lean period, we'll see we can do now because February is again a little higher period, not lean, not considered as lean. So after that assessment is over, we'll see the increase in the license fee impact.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, coming to the e-catering part, in the last con call, you had talked about that, we are looking at onboarding, partners for the food delivery point of view, given that with the large aggregators, it is taking time to conclude on the commercials. Update on that would be helpful, and also the volume of e-catering.
Well, we have been able to bring on board quite a few of them. I'll share that figure with you shortly before I conclude. As of now, I think I've missed that particular thing. So my team is collecting that. So we have been able to bring many of them on board.
Sure, ma'am. My last question was on the non-service charge revenue within internet ticketing. So if you look at the 9 months number which you shared at 29 crores, and if I just adjust for the 126 crores kind of number which was there in the first half, that means we have crossed the Q3 number of 100 crores. If you could share, which are the sub-segments that are driving that revenue, and should we expect that this 80 to 100 crore range on a quarterly basis to be sustainable?
Internet ticketing has been contributing the maximum, not only the maximum revenue as of now, but also contributing the maximum of the profit, Because all other segments, the profit share is less, and the maximum contribution has been from the internet ticketing. Whether we'll be able to sustain the same, January is impacted because of the Omicron. Yes, some impact will be seen in the month of January. February and March, we have that holy period which is considered as a peak period. So my indirect answer is already there, that we can expect certain increase in the booking. We normally have a high bookings in the month of Holi because of the travel happening towards the eastern region and the return travel also happening. And when you said the other segments, how the internet ticketing other segment would be doing, yes, we have done some hard work in the advertisements, etc. The results for the same normally fructify in the month of March. So you will see some impact in that also. As far as our own payment gateway is concerned, it is doing pretty well. We have, if you ask me the 9 months period, what all marketing revenue we have got, it is, if I say the percentage sharing with you, the total marketing revenue has been around 56 crores. And other than that has been 172 crores for non-convenience fee resource, which is contributing around 32% of the total revenue of internet ticketing, out of which 75% share is of the other resources and 25% share is directly of the marketing revenue, that is the advertisement revenue. And there we have done very well. Our payment gateway is also doing well, and some of the results will fructify. And we are also working very hard and reworking all our policies so that more and more efforts and the government business can be achieved in the month of March. So things look good so far, Urmilji.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. And whenever it's possible to share the e-catering
Yeah,
volume.
I'll certainly share the
during the
e-catering figure with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mayank Babla from Dalal & Broacha. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. Congratulations on a great set of numbers. Ma'am, could you please give me the capacity of rail neer as of end of last quarter? Capacity utilization in the units sold, please.
Well, capacity utilization was again impacted by the Omicron, and up to, I think, current production of the rail neer has been to the tune of 5.5 lakh liters a day, where the capacity is around 14.8 lakh liters a day, because of though the demand has increased as compared to the previous month, but still it has not come up to the maximum level. One, because of the winter, where the consumption of the water goes low, and secondly, because of the travel. You know, the second day travel is happening, and second day travel is around 38%. With the restoration of a cooked food, the extended catering, that is rail neer, has picked up. So production level is to the tune of 45%. The plant utilization has been to the tune of 45%. Recently, we have done a cost audit done also. In that also, we have found that our production capacity is being utilized in the percentage of 45 to 63%. Average is nearly 46%.
Okay. Sure. And ma'am, thank you for that. And my second question is regarding the tickets booked. Ma'am, could you give us the segmentation between this AC, non-AC, and the general 2S class in this quarter? Yeah.
Let's start from the highest.
Yeah.
Sleeper class is the highest. That is 38.1. And 2S is the highest. That is 38.6%. Sleeper class is 38.1.
Okay.
And put together, second AC, third AC, and AC chair car is 22%. And first AC executive class is less than 1%.
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, and best of luck for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manoharan from Retail Investor. Please go ahead.
So thanks for the opportunity, madam. Madam, just want to know, like in the internet ticketing, madam, like is there a split that you can share between the train and the bus? Just to know like how it's progressing, the bus and the air that we ventured into, right? How it is progressing, madam, and any share you can do it?
I think these things cannot be compared, because bus is, in ticketing we have a toll right, but in bus you have an open competition, and there the bus booking is picking up as compared to the previous. So, and the air booking has also started picking up, but the bus air booking was pretty bad in the month of January and December. December it picked up. January it went down again. So there you have many more competitors like OTAs are competing with you. In the bus also there are other partners. So both in railway share cannot be compared with the bus and the air share. However, our share, online share of the railway ticketing we are maintaining at the more than 80% level. And the system tickets which is being booked through counter is nearly 18%.
Okay, thank you, madam. And the next one, madam, like, so there is an auction for the private trains, right? That got cancelled by the government, right? So, no, any update on that, madam? Anything that's coming up sooner?
Discussions are still happening with the Ministry of Railways on this issue. In fact, today also there is one meeting with them, one of the directors. We are still, I think Ministry is still working on that, so I will not be able to give you a major update on this, but things are still under being.
Okay. And the last one, madam, if I may. So the payment wallet, madam, like, so is it in terms of growth percentage, or like how are you progressing there, madam, in the growth wise, not in the profit or not in the number wise, just to see how it is progressing, right? So any growth number, percentage number you can share, madam, at the wallet alone?
Growth opportunity.
Growth opportunity, I think every segment has, because in the catering segment, more and more trains are being tendered out. The train side vending is going to be added. So there
No,
also
on the payment wallet, madam. Only on the payment wallet.
You said payment wallet. Oh, payment wallet, of course. Payment wallet means there is some growth is going to happen because gradually the wallet user number is increasing. And but the open wallet, yes, in iMudra there are certain challenges because now we have changed our partner from one bank to another bank. We have shifted. And there is, however, we have found a marginal increase in the business, but not very considerable in the open wallet also.
Okay, madam. Madam, last one, madam. The Swiggy and other things, right? The last time when we spoke about the aggregators, we said actually we are trying our own aggregator, right, madam? Is that we made any progress there, madam? Anything that we have?
Yes, we have got some progress. Our MOA changes are being discussed at a various levels in the Ministry of Railways. I think they are in a concluding stage now. So once it is approved by our parent ministry, the things will be sent to for further action, and the MOE changes will be executed. Then we'll also have to follow the course through our AGM. So we are working on the same line very thoroughly.
So we will have our own aggregator, is it? Like our aggregator, we will have similar to Swiggy on.
We will have an aggregator license.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
we will be taking that we will be free to take our PG as an aggregator to other companies to work upon. So that will be an additional source of revenue for us in the coming years to come. Maybe the next year, maybe the year.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thanks a lot, madam. All the best, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sridhar Manke from FIS Global. Please go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. First of all, congratulations on excellent set of numbers there. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I have a few questions. First is on the tourism segment. So I see that expense on the tourism segment from last quarter has almost doubled. So could you shed some light on that? The second question is about the profit margin in catering segment. The EBIT seems to be at 5% at the moment. So do you see it growing maybe in double digits in coming quarters? So that's the second question. So I'll carry on after that. So if you could.
I'll answer your second question first. The profit margins in the catering segment is 5%. Yes, it is going to increase further because more and more trains are going to be tendered. So your segment vis-a-vis the expenses are going to remain the same. The main expense is generally on the HR and expenditure that you do. And we are getting good bids as far as the licensing of the trains is concerned. So the margins are going to increase. If I recall correctly, in 1920, our margin in the catering segment has been around, I think 10 to 12%. 12% was the total margin, and which increased at times in the peak season. In the catering segment, in the quarter, if I see, as compared to the consecutive quarter, we have done much better. That is around 34 crores better than the previous quarter. And in profit, in the last quarter, the catering was a losing segment. Now it has become a profitable segment. So profit margins are going to increase further. That is what we are anticipating.
Yes, thanks, madam.
And in the tourism, our expenses have gone up because in the tourism, many trains have run because of the revenue increase. The revenue has also increased in the tourism segment because of the running of the Tejas, and some fixed expenses of the Tejas had to be paid. So that were paid. So okay. I think that could be probably one of the very important reason that our tourism expenses were little more.
Okay, yeah, thanks, ma'am. Another set of questions is that how is the booking shaping up on IRCTC Air app? Probably you have answered that earlier, but just wanted to have more highlight on that. And the last question was that... We are
yet to achieve the 1920 level, sir.
Okay, yeah.
But because the air bookings we have not been able to gain the same momentum as we had earlier. In fact, in December and for the January, we had many offers received from the airlines, but somehow we could not we could not get avail them because of the massive cancellation happening because of the Omicron. And we are anticipating good bookings now once the air traffic is resumed to its full. So there we may also work on the booking charges also again. We are also considering and rediscussing our sales incentive, PLBs, MLBs, technical bonus, etc. with the airlines also, so that the booking in the segments can be restored.
Okay, yeah, thanks. And the last one from me is that, do you have any plans to open IRCTC executive lounges at more stations? And how is the response on existing stations?
We have executive lounges at, I think, 8 executive lounges as of now we have with IRCTC. Because of the Omicron, the sale of those executive lounges was also impacted. We also have a plan to open in the other segments, for which very soon you will see some tenders.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sheikh Mohammed, individual investor.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity, madam, and many congratulations for excellent result. My question is, madam, during the pandemic, there was also the reservation of second class, means sitting was also being reserved. What is the position now? Now still it is going by reservation, or general ticketing has been started from the counter?
It is still, second class is still a reserve, and IRCTC is booking around 38% of that area. It is still reserved. So entire booking is with the IRCTC, and through system also, of course, is there. 38% of such quantum is being booked through IRCTC portal.
Ma'am, what performance means in next quarter? What kind of performance you are expecting from IRCTC? There will be improvement from the December quarter, or there will be slight less?
It is very subjective. If Omicron has already hit us in the month of January, and being the hospitality segments, all our segments were impacted. In fact, we had a very good sales in the tourism segments. All our trains were full, etc. And we had to cancel all our departures till February. Most of the departures were cancelled. Now we are trying gradually resuming the business. So in tourism business, there is going to be some hit, because 1.5 months is already lost. And for gaining the rest of 1.5 months, you need another 1 month. As I said in the earlier remarks, tourism has a cascading challenge. If you want to sell your product, you have to look 1 year in advance. Any month lost in between, you add to that. So booking of that particular month is not only gone, the booking for the next 3 months is also gone. So you have to plan in advance, you have to do so many things. In Rail Neer, yes, if it is an extended catering, if the train number has increased, you will get, we can apprehend certain growth in the catering and the Rail Neer and the internet ticketing. We can foresee some, but even the internet ticketing in the month of January was impacted because of the Omicron.
Okay, ma'am, that will help. Another question is, ma'am, when Vande Bharat trains are coming on board, or when it will start? Do you have any idea?
When it is offered to us for providing hospitality service, we will certainly come forward. I can only say this, but the rest is to be answered by Ministry of Railways.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rahul Jain from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on very strong numbers. Firstly, my question is on the catering business. How the pricing,
Which segment you mentioned?
Ma'am, I said about catering segment.
So you need to be a bit louder.
Just a second, ma'am. Is it any better now?
It's little better.
Okay. So what I'm asking is about catering business. So what are the prospects here? I mean, how the pricing has changed? I mean, what kind of premium we have seen in general on the re-tendering basis? Because earlier the tenders were going on discount. So what is the difference between what typically what we used to get for the particular patch versus what we are getting now? Any thing? And as you also said that there is 2-period assessment, which is lean and peak, and we have done it for the lean season right now. But I think the assessment in current period would not be much ideal, given that January has seen significant drop in the passenger traffic. So will that also have some bearing in terms of the minimum license fee that we will put in our contract, given the assessment will be lower?
The catering has two portions to be handled. One is that, yes, the first challenge with IRCTC was to restore the services and put the train on as far as the catering was concerned. So that particular job is over and we have got very good bids. There we have seen some improvement. That is the improvement that we were already foreseeing. Rest of the SBD contracts were also restored, so the license fee structure remains the same. But the increase in the tariff had been there, which has been made effective as far as the passenger is concerned. So the corresponding increase in the license fee is anticipated, that is based on the assessment that you have mentioned. Yes, January we had identified as a lean period for doing the assessment. We could not do because of the Omicron, but we are going to encash. Hopefully everything goes fine and there is no fourth wave and no threat of the pandemic further, then we will do, certainly we will carry out the assessment in the coming months for the increased period. But for making that effective in the catering segment, you need to have a lean period as well. So we'll see what lean period we need to choose and then pick up the figure and do the assessment as per the availability. Once it is completed, certainly the impact on the increase in the license fee will be very visible. But that perhaps to the best of my knowledge and the consolidation practices that are being followed in the IRCTC, we'll be able to see that impact I think in the end of March only. So we'll start working on that. So in the years to come, you will see some good improvement as far as the catering is concerned. Rather, I would say good improvement in the catering. And Railneer is going to be a part of that. And as far as our turnover from the Rajdhani Shatabdi food is concerned, since the price is increased, so you can find marginal increase because of that in the turnover also.
Right. So two more clarification on points that you have raised earlier. One of the points was that you read out that note from the result, which clearly says that there is some advantage of this increased license fee, which will come for the period of 27 November to 31st of December, is not been accounted. So is it safe to assume that the revised price for this period will come in the this quarter, January, Feb, March quarter? That is point one.
Increased license fee 27 November से
हमारी
increase.
our license fee will increase from 27th November only.
हाँ, but current number में वो already उस rate बढ़े हुए rate पर नहीं है. That's what I'm trying to say.
बढ़े rate पर तो नहीं.
वो तो assessment के बाद ही होगा ना.
Right.
It will be only after assessment. As per technically, as per the contractual commitments, we cannot do without assessment.
Right.
More than vendor, we are in a hurry to do that, and all our team effort got wasted because of the Omicron. We had made all the teams, etc. Everything was ready.
Revenue will come later on.
But revenue will come later on.
But it can come in the Q4 or it may take more time.
No, it will come in the next financial year only perhaps. Q4 we may not get. Q4 we will get the benefit of the increase in the turnover because of the RSC sales and the TSV contracts which we could not do earlier. But some increase in the earning will be there because those tenders are getting materialized now.
Okay.
These are new tenders. And the few, I think 24 trains have also increased. So that impact is also there. And the festival season ahead, so you will get, even the sales are going to be better.
Right. And the number of TSP contract, I heard the number to be 700. Was that number right?
Yeah, it is nearly 700.
And this number in the previous quarter was 280.
That was, we had not done that analysis completely. Now we have completed this is a section-wise analysis. If overall contract may be little less, but the tenders will be like this.
Okay, so you mean to say the lower number was so higher number is for section-wise, while total contract will be...
But total number of the trains is also going to be more.
Right, but this has gone up from 288 to 700 on leg-to-leg basis.
Ji.
Okay, and there is one mention in the note number 7 that regarding non-provision of charges till December 31st for use of IRPRS for online ticketing by a company for running 2 private trains. Can you throw some light what is this pertaining to?
See, as of now, for booking Tejas trains, we are using the PRS of Indian Railways. And that booking engine is being used. Our own engine is not yet ready. We are in process of making, and we are in talk with the various agencies. Since because of the pandemic, the Tejas operation itself was impacted, so we thought let's put our effort on making the booking engine on hold. We did not make our own engine because it involves expenditure. So we were using their PRS, though in future railways may claim PRS charges on that for the 2 trains, which is not going to be very huge. So that charges we may have to pay. So we are making certain provisioning for that. And that is the mention. As of now, we have not made any provision. Maybe in the end of the year, we will make some provisioning we'll keep some provisioning for that.
So, so the benchmark for this number would be what is the total?
As of now, let us do the bidding first. Only then we can do the benchmarking. Because railway may ask us X amount. But as per the market demand, the amount may be X minus 1. So we will negotiate for the X1 rather than paying X.
So, ultimately the tickets will be, you mean to say instead of hosting it on IRCTC website, we could also use other channel if those are price effective?
See, the booking inventory is with IRCTC. The booking engine has to be for the IRCTC. IRCTC can make its own engine or can take the PRS engine. We may continue with the PRS engine if the rates are negotiated well. If rates are exorbitantly high, then we continue with making our own engine and go for our own kind of a setup in our own system.
Okay, just to understand this, for example, if if government is reimbursing X rupees to CRIS for this PRS, so total number of trains, which is 2, divided by total number of trains.
Publicity has no business in that. Entire marketing revenue is with the IRCTC. For maintaining the infrastructure, we are already paying to CRIS. And for using the PRS charges, we would be paying to CRIS. Marketing, even their marketing work is also being done by IRCTC, for which we charge 50% of the revenue share.
Right. Okay. And second, lastly, from the luxury tourism prospect, I can see on the website that we have started this October booking, season. Have we started getting some response, or these are just
we have got certain queries from the UK market. US market we have not yet started. In fact, we are making efforts to run few charters. You might have seen some revenue also in this segment in the last year, in the current quarter also. We had run 2 departures of Maharashtra Express. Our 3rd departure was scheduled on 20th January, got cancelled because of the Omicron. Then the deluxe tourist train, the Buddhist train, we had to cancel because all our booking got cancelled. And the booking was coming from either from or from the other countries. Few big bookings were there from the US also. So for the month of October, yes, we have started booking, because these bookings in the luxury segment start 2 years in advance. So as of now, we have published only 1 year calendar for 2023. We are in process of publishing the calendar for 23-24 also. for which the effort, I think it is going to be done very soon.
So technically, if there is no new pressure from COVID, we may see this season playing out for Maharashtra.
Yes. Not only that, if the countries are opening up, we will also very soon start our outbound business also, which is now put on hold. So we have within a day or two we are going to take a call the countries which are open like Dubai and etc. Where we are going to start our outbound and we are going to encash the upcoming holiday season, that is May, June.
Right. And just lastly from my side, which is on the cash utilization, I think you said the cash number is 1,800 crore right now. Any plan, any allocation strategy that you would like to discuss?
See, out of this reserve, we have to have, since our bookings on the ticketing has gone up, 700 crores are on a revolving. It will keep revolving. If 2 holidays come, then it may reach up to 800 crores also. Because every day you get a booking of nearly more than 100 kind of in advance, and you have to deposit with the Indian Railways. If 2 holidays come, then you have to deposit more. So one is the revolving, for revolving the thing we want to know, and secondly we are also in process of changing the infrastructure for the internet ticketing. Again, when we started giving the tender, we were hit by the various supplies. Now again we are reviving that, so we are thinking of doing some capital expenditure on internet ticketing, where we really want to improve the infrastructure. Our talks with the agencies and the tender process we have already initiated. So you will see some expenditure on the internet ticketing and some expenditure in the upcoming railway plants and infrastructure projects that are coming up, budget hotels, etc.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nilesh Shetani from BOI AXA Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Hi ma'am, good afternoon and thanks for the opportunity. Ma'am, my first question was the 2S ticket booking side. So wanted to understand today it is coming under the reserved category, and what is the potential opportunity of tickets over here, and today what would be the tickets being booked? So the reason I'm asking this question is, so for example, you want to travel from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, there would be a passenger who would booking say from Mumbai to Valsad and the booking from Valsad to say Ahmedabad. So this same seat can be used twice or many fold. So wanted to understand what is the potential over there, and today where are we as far as booking is concerned?
See, as far as the potential of the sectional booking is there, this is going to be for the this segment will always be there. Okay. Right? So your assessment is right. In 2S it happens because the bookings are done from the section wise. And even in the sleeper also, the bookings are done section wise. The train runs, the bookings happening from end to end are there, but the inter-pool booking you cannot stop. It happens, and there are pools defined for that. I have worked earlier in that segment, so I can share that segment with you. That the intersection booking also happens. That is why the utilization in few trains is always more than 100% because of the intersectional bookings. So this is there in the sleeper class also, and this is going to be in the 2S also.
So just wanted to understand today what is the booking done and what could be the potential.
Okay, the second is the booking is nearly the 38% of the total booking being offered on our portal. And last 6-7 months from the day it has started, we are seeing that this booking is nearly up to 40%. In 2-3 months in the peak season, it has crossed 42% also. So one can, it all depends how many classes are run by Indian Railways in the 2S. And as of now, we have not got any decision from the Ministry of Railways that they will not run and second days in the reserve segments. In fact, in one of the press clippings, clarification was also issued by Ministry of Railways, where they had mentioned that 2S is going to be continue to be in the reserve segment because they also get additional revenue on that. So that's it. That is only, I think, supplement.
Any sense on said now the share of this tickets have gone up. I mean, absolute term growth also has been.
I could not hear you. Could you come again?
So wanted to understand this for the next, say, 12 to 18 months, what kind of growth we can expect as far as tourist tickets are concerned?
If the overall passenger on Indian Railways is going to increase, all classes will gain out of that. You might have read in the newspaper also that ministry is targeting good number of passengers this year. So IRCTC may also be beneficiary of that.
And the second question was on the catering
Sorry to
side.
interrupt you, Mr. Jethani. The audio is breaking from your line, sir.
That's perfect. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Better. Little better, sir.
Okay, madam. So, madam, next question was on the catering side. So today I want to understand in the total train being running on the Indian Railways, how many have restarted the catering, how many is left, and earlier margins used to be in the range of mid-teen. So what is your sense on margins going back, say in the next 12 to 18 months?
See, the total number of trains which were running were to the tune in the October there were 3,000 such trains where IRCTC was providing the booking. They went up nearly 6,000, 5,997 trains where we provided booking in the month of November. In December again they went down to the tune of 4,500. And in January again the figure went down and the trains were around 4,051 where we provided the reservation. So that is answer to your first question. In catering, we have by January end, we could provide catering services in the 428 trains with the pantry cars. We could outsource all those licenses and we could avoid all the contracts. And in addition to this, we are also running around, you can say, 112 contracts which are still running on RTE, and we are trying to give them again on the cooked food. Somehow the bidding process has not been very successful in this. Because of some or other reason, we are doing such re-tendering again.
Okay. So against this 420 trains where we are providing catering today, what would be the pandemic?
It was 470. We got 44 new trains, but at the same time 20 previous trains were cancelled. So the net gain is 24. So you have now your number is 441. Out of which 420 trains have been rendered with the cooked food, 13 are running with the RT. No train is running without any contract, by the way. Either you have cooked food, majority 99% is with the cooked food where you get fees, and rest is with that.
Got it, madam. Yes, those were my questions, and thank you so much for replying.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take that as the last question. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Siddharth Agarwal for closing comments. Thank you, and over to you, sir. Mr. Siddharth Agarwal, please go ahead.
Yeah, just a second. I would like to thank CMD ma'am, Srimati Rashmi Hasija ji, and Director of Finance and CFO, Shri Ajit Kumar ji, for another insightful session on IRCTC and its growth prospects, and also to my colleagues and all the participants of today's call. Trust me, ma'am, it was indeed a huge learning experience for us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And before I close, the e-catering figures I would like to share. I think 5 partners in the B2C segment, Ixigo, Paytm, and this Railofy, we have made them active. But since the cooked food has started, the e-catering average has gone down. So, but it will pick up when the festive season is there.
Commission is 5 crores.
And the commission that we have received is nearly 5 crores. So that is all from our side. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Haitong Securities, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.